Hey guys, it's Suzanne Mosley. I'm so excited to welcome you here to look at Usborne and Kane Miller chapter books. It's spring 2022, and I'm often asked by customers, hey, what order would you recommend for reading some of your chapter books? Which ages are they for? So I'm going to attempt, I have a lot of books over here. Do you see all of them? I'm going to attempt to show you as many as I can, as many as I have. There obviously are more. This is not going to be exhaustive, but these, I would say, are my top sellers. And we have chapter book series for as young as 5 all the way up to 12 plus. Some series I would say that I have even read that are great for adults. So get your pencil and paper here because you're going to make notes and it's going to be long. But we got this, okay? And again, I would love for you to follow me on Suzanne_shares on Instagram or Suzanne Shares Books here on YouTube and Facebook, and then we can be connected. And then if you have any other specific questions about these, we can chat there and I'll be glad to help, okay? So first up, I'm going to show you chapter books that are recommended for ages 6 and 9. And again, there's some overlap on some of these. I always encourage people to start with Hey Jack and Billy B. Brown. They're best friends. They appear in each other's series, and I've never seen any other books like these on the market. They only have 50 words per page. They are chapter books, and they really are fabulous. These were the first chapter books my boys ever read. And there is a big jump, I would say, in like phonics readers up to the next chapter book series. And that was hard for my boys. So having Hey Jack for them was incredible because it truly is a chapter book series. So I always recommend starting with those. Okay, next up is Freddy's Amazing Bakery. This is for 5 and up. These are mysteries. Freddy's a baker. They're super fun. Lots of baking terminology. There's a glossary in the back to help with that. And then every book comes with a recipe. So cute. It's a great series. And there are 4 currently in the series. Next up, Vlad, the Worst Vampire. There are 4 in the series. Similar to Diary of a Wimpy Kid and just funny content. This is what the inside looks like. There are some illustrations. Silly, funny. If you have a child that loves silly and funny books, Vlad is your man. Some of these I do not have, so I'm going to show you pictures. Another series similar to Vlad the Vampire, same age as Hotel Flamingo. It's a 4-book series about a girl who inherits a hotel from her grandmother, and all the workers that work there are animals. It's super cute. I forgot to mention this. This is School of Monsters, by the same author of Hey Jack and Billy B. Brown, Sally Rippin. That is also kind of even below that, more so like phonics readers, but a really fun, really fun series. Okay. So now we are going to move on. And I forgot, in that same series, ages 6 through 9, is Billy B. Mysteries. Billy B. is the same Billy in this series. She's just a little bit older. So Billy B. Mysteries is an older Billy. They are mysteries, and the reading level is higher. So that's another in the 6 to 9 series. And so I'm going to show, as I'm showing you these in the video, they're kind of designed like, hey, you would kind of read these in this order. So I hope that's helpful. Okay, now we are up for ages 7 through 10. Let me start with some of our top sellers by this age that I did not have. In stock to show you. Also in the, 6 to 9, Olivia's Secret Scribbles, back down to this pile. I would recommend them similar reading level to probably Freddy's Amazing Bakery. And Olivia is a sister to, this is Olivia's Scribbles, so I would put that in the 6 through 9. And then she is a sister to Ella that we see in Ella Diaries, which is, oh, whoop, a little too early on that one. Scratch it. But just know, Olivia has a sister, and it's Ella. Now for the 7 through 10 series, some that I don't have here, but are top sellers from my customers: Fairy Ponies, The Secret Mermaid, and Fairy Unicorns. I'm a boy mom, so you may understand why I don't have those. But those, again, all my book fairs and customers with parties, they love Fairy Ponies, Fairy Unicorns, and Mermaids. All the girls love them. Okay. Next up, if you liked Billy B. Brown and Hey Jack, or Billy B. Brown Mysteries, the same author authored Polly and Buster. It's a 3-book series. They're monsters. Polly's a witch. Buster is a monster, and it's a great story of friendship. They're not scary. They're not scary. They are witches and monsters, but it's not scary. It's kind of similar to Hogwarts a little bit in that Polly is at a witch school to learn how to do spells, and she has dyslexia, which is which I love to point out. Because of that connection for kids that have dyslexia. And Sally Rippon, the author, has a son with dyslexia, so she seeks to incorporate, even in the layout of the book, to appeal to kids with dyslexia. Okay, next up, Bear Grylls. Love him so much. He has a show on Netflix and Disney Plus. Your kids will know who he is. And these are chapter book series. They're adventure-based. They're awesome. They're always top sellers. Fizz the Police Dog, 4-book series. He's a police dog. Super cute. They're funny. They solve mysteries. Or they're adventure. But not everyone's a mystery, but they're adventure. My boys loved them. These two are awesome as well. They are both graphic novels. Scurvy Dogs, currently as a 3-book series. They're dogs that are pirates. They're hilarious. Every customer that I gets those, loves those. Billy and the Mini Monsters. My 12-year-old loves this series so much. He's been reading it for years and years and years. And still, I order him any new ones that are added because he just enjoyed it so much. And please note, this one is the one to read first because it talks about how the monsters get to Billy. If you read this one out of order and don't read this one first, it's not going to make sense, and it'll be a spoiler alert. So read this one first. Okay. All right. Up next, Shine. This is a 4-book series about girls who attend a performing art. This is actually book 1. Who attend a performing arts high school. So if you have a daughter or a son that is interested in performing arts, some of them sing, some of them dance. Some illustrations you'll notice getting a little bit more difficult. This is another great series from Patty Mills, who actually is Australian, but he played in the NBA in the U.S. And there are 3 books in this series. So if you have a son that's into sports, this is a great series. Again, three books in that series. I absolutely love our biography series, this Extraordinary Lives. There are currently, I think, 9 or 10. Gandhi, Nelson Mandela, Anne Frank, Katherine Johnson, Steve Jobs, Stephen Hawking, so Amelia Earhart, some that I don't have visible. I love the thematic way. These are similar to graphic novels too, in that they're cartoony illustrations along the way, and each book in the series is like a different color theme, so I kind of like that. Like hers was purple, Neil Armstrong's is this teal, so it's visually engaging to kiddos. And then another series kind of for this age range, and I would put it at the end of this set that I've just showed you, Axel and Beast. Axel is a gamer, Beast is his robot, and they are working together to save the world. So great series there. Okay, next up, ages 8 and up, and I made a note to show you Ella Diaries here. Ella, again, is the sister to Olivia and Olivia's Secret Scribbles, and we will see her again. I was just going to show it here. Ella here is in they call university. She's in England, it's university, but we would call it high school in the United States. So they're actually, this is when she's a little bit younger, and then this is when she goes to high school. And this is for 10 and up. Okay. All right. Marie Curious. 3-book series, female main character. She's very science-minded. She and her friends are invited to a science camp where they're focusing on inventing things. So it's very science-focused, inventive-focused, and they are saving the world one invention at a time. So this is a brand new series that came out last year. Another great series, Extreme Adventures. I recommend this one typically once a kid's done with the Bear Grylls series if they've progressed in their reading level. This one, different from Bear in that there are no pictures, but it's similar in content in that it's Extreme Adventures. There's this alligator one, a spider one. So it's very captivating and intense and adventure focused. My 12-year-old just blew through these this spring and really, really enjoyed those. Also around this age, any of our illustrated classics, these are some of our favorites: Norse myths, Greek myths, ballet stories, and stories from Shakespeare. You can read these as chapter books. They are divided into chapters. They're abridged versions of Shakespeare's plays, or a bit abridged version of Norse myths, which your kids will know who Thor and Loki are from Marvel. But you can get them to dive into reading, because actually Thor and Loki are from Norse myths, which are Viking myths. That's where they came from, not from Marvel. So they can read more about Thor and Loki in that series. And then Greek myths, my boys love these. If your kiddos are into Percy Jackson, which are modern retellings of Greek myths, if they want to see the originals, they can see Greek myths. And then ballet stories. These are actually narrative stories about different famous ballets. Swan Lake, Nutcracker, Firebird, Sleeping Beauty, Don Quixote, so many, Romeo and Juliet. So it gives the background stories to those. So those are the illustrated stories. These are the illustrated originals. We read this one aloud. It's awesome. Around the World in 80 Days. The illustrated originals differ from the illustrated classics, and that these are unabridged. Great. These are chapter books in a beautiful format. There are some illustrations, but not as many. And again, these are unabridged. There's Anne of Green Gables, Jungle Book, Black Beauty, Treasure Island, Alice in Wonderland, Wizard of Oz. So many great ones in this series. Anne of Green, Little Women. Okay. Impossible Quest. Fabulously loved by so many of my customers. It is a 5-book series. It's similar to me and to Lord of the Rings, not nearly as long, but the concept of it's a group that's kind of wouldn't normally be together, and they are on a quest to basically save the kingdom. So if you have a child that enjoyed the Lord of the Rings or Hobbit, or just loves adventure, and there is kind of a mythical component with they're not all humans, kind of like Lord of the Rings. This one is wonderful. Mapmaker Chronicles, I can't recommend enough. I read the first book. I can't wait to read the rest of the series. It's a 3-book series. 3 ships are on an adventure around the world to literally map the world. Hugely adventure-y, and just like captivating. This is the same author. If you liked Mapmaker Chronicles, this is Book of Secrets, Book of Answers. This is a 2-book series. Again, adventure oriented. There's a quest involved where he finds a map. Yeah, a coded manuscript, and has to, save the world. And Gabe is the main character. He's an orphan, and he's on this quest to find the secrets and answers. Okay, now 10 and up. All of our graphic novels, which are some of my top sellers. I love these. Graphic novels are all the rage these days. I call them good old-fashioned comic books when I was a kid. But I love them because they do engage reluctant readers, as well as they introduce classic stories. So this is Thor. We have the Odyssey, Alice in Wonderland, Wizard of Oz, King Arthur, Robin Hood, Dracula, Jason and the Argonauts, which is a Greek myth. Thor is a Norse myth. I've got some more on my Macbeth, Hamlet, so Shakespeare as well. Speaking of Shakespeare, I love these complete series. This is Dickens, Jane Austen, and Shakespeare. These are also, I think the catalog says 8 and up, but I would say 10 and up for sure. There's very few illustration, a lot of words per page, definitely for advanced readers. And it does include every work by Shakespeare, Jane Austen, or Charles Dickens. So they're abridged versions of their books, and then some of the Shakespeare plays, actually there's just 1 page about them because he wrote a lot. But I like the consistency of how they all are. They introduce the play or the book. It introduces the main character with a really beautifully illustrated section, and then it dives right into the book. So it gives them some initial character study and brief plot summary without spoiling too much. So it's a great way to introduce your kiddos to Shakespeare, Dickens, and Jane Austen, or if they're going to read it in high school, I highly encourage reading abridged versions of those books so that when they get to high school and they're reading Macbeth, they're like, oh, I got this. I know that story because they read the abridged versions from Usborne before. That is what happened with my boys with Shakespeare in high school, and they love Shakespeare. They didn't realize that kids, aren't supposed to like Shakespeare. They love Shakespeare because we introduced it through the illustrated stories from Shakespeare when they were little. Okay, these are 10 and up, Lightning Girl and Star Switch. This is a 4-book series, and this is a new one. And the same author, Alicia Dixon, who is entertainer, performer. And this one, Aurora, her mother, has magical power. She's a secret superhero. And she is, Aurora's coming of age and realizes she has superpowers too, and she uses them to do good and help and save the world and help people. So if you liked that, this one is brand new. It came out in January 2022. Star Switch, a regular average girl through some magic switches places with her favorite pop star. Then this series came out July 2021. Kinsey and Max, and the brand new ones came out this spring or this winter. Kinsey and Max, they're twins. It is spy oriented, intrigue, mystery, adventure. They wake up one morning and their lives have changed. Their parents are missing. They are spies and they have to put all the pieces together. So that one is very engaging and captivating. Shadow Chaser. This is a choose your own story. I loved choose your own adventure books when I was a kid. So literally you read through it. It has you will need some dice because there are different games that you play, and it tells you if you roll this number, then you win, and you need to go to 104, so you might need to go backwards. Everything is numbered, and then at 104 you'll find out what you need to do there. So there's points and you keep up with them, so it's almost like a game and a choose your own adventure story in one, and that's Shadow Chaser. And then these are 3 that I've read or am reading, and they're wonderful. These are our last 3. Midnight Unicorn, brand new series that came out January 2022. There are 4 in the series. Mythical because it is unicorns, but a really cool story. There are twins that were born to a king and queen in the kingdom, and at birth they were separated because the queen's brother overtook the kingdom and he's the bad guy. So I've just gotten into it. I'm about halfway through the first book and I can't put it down. It's so great. The unique part is that the girls can turn into a unicorn. So I don't know what that's all about, but it is I've been staying up late at night and I keep falling asleep, but I want to finish the book and I keep falling asleep. It's so good. So good. Clockwork Sparrow. This is a 4-book series. Love it. It's in England. Turn of the century England, around the early 1900s, Edwardian time in England. They're mysteries. Sophie is the main character. She's an orphan, and her best friend is Lil, and it's kind of like Mr. Selfridge. If you've seen that show on PBS, they work at a store kind of like Selfridge, and there's mysteries that happen kind of related to the store, and young teenagers have to solve the mystery. And then this is 6 Chelsea Walk, definitely, again, for some of our older kiddos, no pictures. This is a 3-book series, and in each book, 2 girls appear. So it's 6 girls total. And they live at this address, 6 Chelsea Walk, a flat in England. It's historical fiction. So there are 2 different time periods in each book, and and all the girls are 12, and it tells the history of what's going on from the perspective of these girls. So this one is super cool. Girls at War and Girls on the Up. This is set in 1941 during the Blitz of Britain during World War II, and then 1969 was the space race, walking on the moon. So it incorporates those historical periods from these perspectives. So that is a super, super long video. I hope you hung with me. But also you can scroll back through and look at the various 6 to 9, 8 and up, and then 10 and up. And again, some of that is overlap with the different ages, but hopefully being able to physically look inside the books and hear a little bit about the plot of each series will give you an idea of what your kiddos would enjoy reading. So all of these are available on my website, SuzanneSharesBooks.com. If you have any questions about them or I can help in any way, feel free to contact me, Suzanne Shares Books, through Instagram or YouTube, or Suzanne_shares on Instagram. I'll be glad to help. Thank you. Thanks for hanging with me, and I hope this was helpful.